in today's video we're going to be talking about something that is trending worldwide, and it's alternatives to toilet paper. And in this video I'm going to be talking you through my top 5 alternatives to toilet paper. The one thing I would say at the outset is, while a lot of these you're able to find at home, source at home easily, probably easier than sourcing toilet paper at this very hard time in life, is most of these things don't degrade the same as toilet paper does. So if you are going to flush them down the basin and use them, what I would recommend is you flush twice to put down a little bit more water so that the drain doesn't get blocked, because that is the last thing I want when suggesting these alternatives to toilet paper. And I would say, if you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And one of these tips has come from my daughter Isabella, which I will come on to in just a second. Anyway, let's get straight on to tip number 1. Now, paper goods are very hard to come by at the minute in these trying times, particularly toilet paper per se. But I was in AutoZone this morning and happened to spot that they had this Scotch Shop original shop wipe on the side. Ideal toilet roll, not happening, is it? However, if you use a saw on it, like I'm about to, we can probably get 1, 2, 3 toilet rolls out of this. So all you're going to need for this is some of these Scots paper available from your local auto shop. Put 2 cuts in it and you have got 3 nice toilet rolls out of there. So let me get to work on that. My intrepid helper Isabella is going to hold on to the end of the soon to be toilet roll. So there we have it, one almost ready to use toilet roll. One more cut in here, and then I've got 3 toilet rolls made out of that one roll of blue workshop stuff. Now, as I say, this doesn't probably degrade at the same rate toilet roll does, so do remember to flush it down the toilet with more water. Although when you feel the stuff, it does feel nice and soft. Anyway, that's number 1 when it comes to my first alternative to toilet paper. On to number 2. And when it comes to tip number 2 for alternatives to toilet paper, let's go straight to my bathroom, and I'll show you one that I happened to notice in the supermarket and recommended to someone the other day. And that's to use tissues. Whilst these may seem quite nice and soft, they're not made of quite the same biodegradable paper as toilet paper is, hence the need for use for more water. I was in the supermarket the other day, walked past the toilet paper aisle, and there was a guy saying, "Oh, I can't believe there's no toilet paper in here." And on the shelf next to the toilet paper, there were dozens and dozens of boxes of tissues. Popped in my head like a light bulb. I said, "Why not get some of these and use these instead?" He said, "Thanks very much, mate," and took about 5 or 6 of them off the shelf. So if your local supermarket doesn't have toilet paper, then bathroom tissues, or any kind of tissues, could be a great first alternative. Okay, and now for my third alternative to toilet paper, something my daughter Isabella came up with just the other day. So let's bring Izzy on and show people what you have come up with, as this is definitely a teen thing at this time of year. So what have we come up with?
So these are 3 different types of papers that you can find in like school notebooks and stuff. So this is binder, this is composition book paper, and then this is just from one of my spiral notebooks. And this one works the best. We basically just crumple the paper over and over again, and then the fibers in the paper start to deteriorate, and as my class calls it, soft paper.
And this is now actually super soft, guys and girls out there. You might think this is like, what the hell's the kids talking about? But trust me, this is like nearly as soft. In fact, this is softer than some toilet papers are. Simply by crinkling it up on there, as you say, what, it breaks down the fibres and makes the paper softer. So put your kids to work crumpling up some of their school books, as nobody's probably using them right now, sadly. Anyway, thank you very much, Isabella, and let me move straight on to toilet paper alternative number 4. A little bit of care needed with this one though. And that brings me on to tip number 4. And originally, toilets or restrooms were called water closets, and when they first came out, toilet paper was not even in existence, but newspapers were. So what people used to do was cut the newspaper up into squares, put it on a little hook, and hang it on the back of the bathroom door. Now, yours truly has got a magazine in his hand, because over here in America, going out and getting a newspaper would involve me driving. So what's the big deal, Richie? Well, we're under shelter in place. I am not just going to drive out just to get a newspaper for the sake of this video. But the example of a magazine will do just as well. However, I would strongly recommend not using a magazine. This paper, this like wax kind of thing, will not deteriorate anywhere near as quickly as toilet paper will do. I hate to say it, if you're going to use this as a solution to toilet paper, you may want to find a plastic bag to put it in and then dispose of that plastic bag after you've done whatever you're doing with it, because if you put this down the toilet, it will eventually clog it up. However, newspaper, much softer, particularly if you do like Isabella just shown us there, crumpling it up quite a bit to soften it up and stick it on a little hook on squares on the back of your door. You use that, flush that down the toilet, and that should hopefully break down without blocking your toilet. But I would recommend that double flush thing just to be on the safe side. Put some water down there, get rid of that paper that's not as biodegradable. Anyway, the last one, tip number 5. Yeah, that could suffice the needs for you know what for a couple of days. See what I mean? So save everything. Worst case, you don't use it, you can burn it, provide free heat. Okay, my second point on making your own toilet paper or toilet paper alternatives, necessity meets demand or demand meets necessity. Because I've got these Aussie cars, order a lot of spare parts from them on mail order. However, a lot of people out there are going to be ordering lots of stuff online to get delivery for it, regardless of RC cars, etc. And it all comes, a lot of it, with this nice brown paper packaging. This stuff is nice and soft. That is probably going to do a couple of days use as you know what if I go and rework it on there. So simple things like that. If you store it, you don't use it, you can always go and burn it on the fire at some point for your future heating needs, or simply recycle it at some point in the future. But don't just go and throw the stuff away. Save it for the minute, because that is ideal for use as toilet paper. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.